Hi everybody, this is Sandra Nardoni with Nimble Homeopathy, and I am here again once more on the Deer Mountain Trail in Rocky Mountain National Park. I'm trying to conquer this trail before we leave here in a few weeks. It's about 3 miles to the top, and so far I've gotten a little over 1.5 miles up it. It's kind of steep with rocks and stuff. So this is my series on first aid. I have remedies that I carry with me every time we go on a trail because I know how important that can be if you get into trouble, and how it can actually help save someone's life if they're having a severe emergency and you have to wait for a while for medical help to come, which is often the case when you're in a place like Rocky Mountain National Park. We were actually hiking the other day and saw a guy that was trail running, and Tim commented that he may be a medical ranger that is training to get to people on the trail because it takes a bit to get to people when they get hurt. So we're talking about that today, and my remedy that we're going to discuss today is aconite. It's also called Aconitum napellus, and you can get it on Amazon in the 200C potency, which is a great potency for people who are getting started with first aid. If you are somebody who is a mountain climber or you are on difficult trails on a regular basis, I highly recommend going through a homeopathic pharmacy site, maybe something like Boron, to get a 1M potency of aconite. Anything that you take on the trail for your, sudden injuries is helpful in the higher potencies. This is something that a lot of people don't know about because the higher potencies are often not sold on places like Amazon, but you can get them from a homeopathic pharmacy, and I highly recommend that if you're going to be doing things that are super dangerous. But aconite is great for a lot of things that have nothing to do with first aid. But the big thing that you want to think about with aconite, and you can kind of remember it by using a rhyme, is pull out the aconite when you have a fright. So it is great for shock. When somebody has had a bad injury, they've fallen on the trail, they may have had, slipped while they were mountain climbing and hit their head, or maybe they didn't hit their head, but they've got a broken bone or something. Aconite is the first thing that you're going to think of to give for shock and to help those shock symptoms not come on so strong, and to give you some time for the medical personnel to reach you on the trail. Aconite is fantastic for that. It's really great for people who are maybe they've had an injury and they're convinced they're going to die. If somebody is convinced they're going to die, aconite is absolutely the thing you're going to reach for. So it is a great remedy for both things. In her book, Dorothy Shepherd's book, that she was a homeopathic doctor that had a clinic during World War II in London. She talks about aconite for internal hemorrhaging as well. And of course, even if you don't know if there's internal hemorrhaging, it's good to just go ahead and give them aconite, because they're going to have shock symptoms if they've got a bad injury, and it could also help prevent internal bleeding, which is obviously something that you want to do. As always, remember, these remedies are not going to hurt you. They're not going to have any side effects. They aren't going to interfere with any medications you're already taking. So when you're on the trail and something happens, don't be afraid to give something to someone, because if it doesn't help them, it just won't help them. It's not going to hurt them. So that's the big thing to remember about these remedies, is they don't have any side effects. They don't interfere with any medical treatments that people are on. So go ahead and give them. You want to give them separately. You want to make sure that there's a little bit of space between giving each remedy, if at all possible, at least a few minutes, and try to give them in a clean mouth, and they melt under the tongue. So you can throw these things in your backpack. Hopefully you'll never need to use them, but if you do need to use them, they are incredibly helpful and could actually be the difference between life and death, because there have been many people who have used these in emergency situations and have avoided having more severe injuries because they have actually helped the healing process begin before they even got actual emergency care. So those are all things to remember. Also, as I always say at the end of every video and on my website, which is homeopathy, actually it's nimblehomeopathy.com, I am not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV. I know Tim thinks that's a really lame joke, but I think it's funny. Anyway, so if you have any questions, always direct them to a medical professional, because I am not one. I am just a lay homeopathic person. So if you have any questions, definitely talk to your doctor and do your own research. Find out about this stuff and avoid Wikipedia because they don't know anything about it. Anyway, I will talk to y'all later. Have a great day. Sandra Nardoni checking out from Deer Mountain Trail in Rocky Mountain National Park. Bye.